What I find interesting is humanity's natural desire to be in community, to want to form these groups and be in families and want each other's safety and good. Now you might think, look Jake, that's not that interesting because loads of animals do this, right? This is just shown in the whole of the animal kingdom. You see lions in their prides, antelopes in herds, you know, looking after each other, fighting for each other, except obviously it's different.
The lions spring the trap.
It doesn't take much to realise that. When a human being falls down or falls behind, we go back for them, we don't leave them. Or if a human being is left or mistreated in any way, the rest of our species looks on in horror and great sadness.
We are seeing an outpouring of rage and grief in London over the murder of 33-year-old Sarah Everard.
Medical officials accused Russia of deliberately targeting civilians across the country.
Humanity as a species has an ethic of life deeply instilled into them. A sanctity of life, that all life is sacred. No matter what you look like, sound like, can do or can't do, you are just as precious and worth just as much as the humans sat next to you. And this is the foundation of what our communities are built on and flourish on. We need this ethic. Otherwise, our communities crumble. If this is gone, if we don't see life as sacred and everyone has this equal right to it, then all of a sudden communities become quite a scary place. In fact, that is how we used to live as humans, interestingly. We weren't always in this lovely sanctity of life place. But if we look back in history, the Spartans are well known for this, right? They're famed for, if there are any imperfections in their young, they just get rid of them. Throw them away. It's the same with Rome, actually. They did it based on gender. Even emperors were the first in doing this and leading the way in this picking and choosing of human life. Your worth in life was decided on who you were when you were born and where you were when you were born. If you were born as a slave, you had no rights. Our communities didn't always have this great ethic of the sanctity of life in them. And consequently, they weren't always the nicest places to be. So when did this change? When did we get this deeper understanding? Interestingly, Professor of Sociology Rodneys has traced back through the communities of history and found that this deep ethic for life and moral trajectory has stemmed from one man in the 1st century AD, Jesus from Nazareth.
Rodney, what was it that Jesus taught that the early church picked up on that kind of shifted?
Well, I suppose the main thing he taught is that life was sacred. That the life of everyone, that people were to take care of one another, that we were our brother's keepers, that...
So if this is the secret to a flourishing community, which we love now in the 21st century, and it came from Jesus, we have a problem. Because Jesus said and did many great things that we'd all love and hold to, and you wouldn't have a problem with. But he did say something which I bet would ruffle you a bit. He said that he was God. Now here we have this great ethical teacher who we have built our communities and societies from, claiming to be God. He is either a madman and a lunatic, in which case why are we getting our ethics from him, or he is who he says he is. And if he is God, then I'm happy to get my ethics from him. There is hope for our communities and society, and a ground to stand our ethics on if Jesus is who he says he is.